Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us here today. Absolutely elated to see you here. I'm Meenakshi Oberoi, and today's topic on Tech Talk Tuesday for Teachers is 50 Ways of Using Gen AI in Education. And guess what? Well, as we were discovering and we announced these 50 ways, these suddenly grew to 150 plus ways of using. Yes, today is going to be an exciting session because it's a new way of generative AI systems that are, being showered every day. And the potential to transform this entire education landscape is huge. Slowly but surely, AI is taking off, and I think to be an education leader in the next 5 years, you need a clear and compelling way in which you're going to use generative AI. So, strategy is what we're looking at today. Where should you be using? Why should you be using 50, 100, 150, 200 ways of using? But using it meaningfully to be able to bring about the desired, objective is what we are looking at, not just generic objectives. So, welcome to you all. As you're all joining in, my first question to you would be definitely please do introduce yourself. Go ahead and type your name, school name, and city in the chat window. And we see only a few of you chatting, so we need more today. And what my question to you would be, what type of AI user are you? Are you swimming? Well, I'm sure you are because all of us are swimming right now. Um, are you snorkeling, which means you are proficient or with AI technologies? Or are you scuba diving? Do you develop AI technology and solve problem using AI? So go ahead and tell us what's your stage of being an AI user over here. I'm talking particularly with about generative AI here. So go ahead and tell us who are you and where are you? What's your level right now? Are you swimming, snorkeling, or scuba diving? I'll wait for your introductions to come in, and I'll request Duhita ma'am to say hello to everybody.
Good evening, everyone. It's again all over a pleasure to see you again over here. And definitely today's session, we are talking about all the tools that we use in education. And yes, I feel very much interested in looking at the screen at present where it asks. It is asking me to whether what type of AI user am I? Am I a swimmer? Am I a snorkel? Or am I a scuba dive? So, waiting for your responses in the chat window and any other queries that we might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Duhita. I do have swimmers, snorkelers, scuba divers. Excellent. We have a combination. Well, yes, snorkelers. Well, most of us are either swimmers or snorkelers, and that's a pleasure because at least you started learn to snorkel if not swim. Yeah. So keep those responses coming in. So many of you are snorkeling, and that is absolutely great. And some of us are cautious. Therefore, just like Tanat, we say we are swimmers, right? Well, just like Jyoti ma'am says, I'm a swimmer. So yes, whichever, Neeta ma'am, you too. So whichever stage you are at, we welcome you to this session because we are going to take a deep dive into the generative AI scenario today and discuss various aspects. So the concept of AI, that is generative AI, not AI, generative AI was introduced in 1960s. Can you believe that? With early chatbots. However, its ability to create that convincing, authentic image, video, or audio of real people only became feasible around 2014 with the advent of GNS, right? So what I'm looking at is we are looking at a way in which teachers use technology. So 57% of them use AI or technology to customize instructions. Can you believe that? Well, yes, that's an urgent need, I believe. 57% address the needs of all learners using technology. 48% maximize efficiency. 48% streamline assessments. And 46% communicate with students. Yeah. So, well, I'm very happy to see the last one. It's 46, and the 54 still remains with your in person without using technology. But I think a balance, what it also brings about is the balance with ways in which teachers are using technology, and with the kind of jobs that we juggle with. I think in just 1 year, Gen AI has definitely made our lives much simpler. So, gone are the days where we said, why do educators need to understand AI tools? I think our role as educators have continued to change over the years. And with new technologies coming in, there's a bit of hesitancy, especially with something as powerful as AI, and there should be. And in our schools, we try and provide opportunities for using the latest in technology, but I think there has to be mindful implementation. I think a focused way to think about how and where should we use this. For example, for me, AI tools can be used to enhance creativity and productivity. That's my best. And also, they can provide educators with valuable insights about students' learning. That's huge for me. For example, Microsoft Reading Progress. Yeah. Insights in Microsoft gave me amazing, view about where my students are in their learning. And if there is growth happening, I have data to substantiate that. So yes, generative AI, maybe you might find initially a little time consuming because we are still grappling to learn how to use. But I think even with all the promise of AI, it is important that we take time to know about where or what is available to us as far as Gen AI is concerned, and how should we be using it. So I will keep switching between what's available, how should I use it, or where should I use it. So these are my two major focus areas today. And Gen AI can not only be used to actually teach content, but also a lot of other things. So we are going to embrace this emerging powerful technology in multiple ways, in not just teaching, learning, but beyond and more. And while you do so, um, I love this survey, which gave us such beautiful insights for educators not using GenAI, concern about how to implement it safely and with fidelity in higher compared to their GenAI using colleagues. So it's encouraging to say that educators who do use GenAI were 35%, who do not use were 53%. But why do I say this is encouraging is those 53% are not against it. They're just standing and watching. They're concerned. There's a lack of guidance there. There's a lack of handholding. And I think this is true for all of us. Look at us in this room. We are more than 50 people in this room. But you see, you can multiply by multiple hundreds and thousands who are outside of this webinar and who might not be able to know about all of this. It's not that they don't want to use GenAI, it's just that they're hesitant. And I think it is our responsibility to either get them to this room to talk about all of this, or possibly take the leadership to teach others whatever you have learned over here. I am really, really hoping either of the things is what is true. I see such wonderful schools joining us from various corners of the country. That actually excites me to say, hey, let's do a little more. Maybe it reaches somewhere. And we do come to know that in the strangest part of the country, we've been able to impact these many lives. So that remains our dream at the Pedagogics. Help us do that. Help us reach out to more people. We would love to have a fuller room here. So, for AI tools to be truly effective, one thing that I am very sure, very confident, and I think I vouch for is that they must align with your pedagogical goals of your institution. If they don't align with your intent, your pedagogical goals, then I think it's just fiddling around with these tools. This means that AI should not just enhance teaching efficiency or support learning, but also help develop cognitive skills and critical thinking skills of students. So we need to think deeper about GenAI rather than staying just about on surface. So here are the top 7 ways in which it can be valuable for you. I've just put it here. I'm not even reading out of the slide because I know you will. I'll give you a minute to read. But by aligning these AI tools with educational objectives, what we can do is we can have a very focused approach towards leveraging this technology to aid instruction, to bring in, probably more, I wouldn't say interactive, engaging, immersive. I would say it's much larger than that. For each one of us, there will be unique needs and objectives. And uh, here are just about a few examples of what can be done. For example, streamlining administrative tasks, right? That's something very simple. Many of us can do it. Enhancing lesson plans, I think everybody does it. Supporting personalized learning. That's something that we keep very dear to us, right? Very close to us, and helping us in administrative or repetitive tasks. All of this is what we're already doing, generating writing prompts. I think we've had enough sessions for you to be proficient on it. And if you're still not confident, or if you're not, really attended those of our sessions, the YouTube um, uh, uh, channel does have all the recordings. You can anytime go and view those. And of course, producing useful learning analytics, like I spoke about, the entire piece on insights. So, what we are looking at is, what can I do with GenAI? I've already given you one view. Here's another one: content and image generation. I think all these four we covered in the last session. I'm going to go a step ahead, but why I'm revisiting this is for you to know this has been covered. The recording is available. You can go ahead and, go ahead and access that any day. So, content and image generation, I think we did a whole session and that we had a blast. Summarization, I think you just pick up any piece, any website, any lengthy article, research paper, case study, put it here and ask them to summarize on the subject matter, generate questions based on that, adjust your reading tone, reading levels, complexity levels. All of that is available for you. Code generation is available for computer science teachers, advanced search is available. So all of these are very obvious uses of Gen AI. What we are looking at is stages outline how Gen AI can be leveraged. Let me just take you through these stages. Bear with me as I speak. How do we use? I'm going to be very basic. How do we use Gen AI? Well, we consume it as is. I mean, you use a prompt to interact with your Gen AI model, and you generate certain meaningful responses. And not to undermine that, but you do have multiple conversations, but you basically just take it from there and you start using it. That is use as is. The second one would be stage would be where you start enhancing your productivity using GenAI, which means you integrate GenAI into your ecosystem, which means you bring in, let's say you're using Teams, and you start sending out assignments from there. And just because those are being sent from Teams, you have insights available through automation, which starts helping you. So you are increasing your productivity because at the end of the day, same homework is going every weekend. But the only change is you're also adding it on assignments and teams. And the only requirement is that once the student has finished their work, they have to put a tick mark and give a review of how the assignment was. I think we've spoken about this on multiple occasions again. So I'm just revisiting. That's your second stage where you have started enhancing your productivity using AI, Gen AI, right? The third stage would be contextualizing LLMs, which means adopting, models which can give you, which can give you school-wide approach to a particular piece. Let's say, we work with various schools in consultancy space. So with one of the schools, we know, not with one, with multiple schools, reading progress has been adopted from literally grade 1 to grade 6. And they have leveled it. They have seen the reading levels. They are looking at the insights. They're adjusting week after week. They're adjusting the learning. So that is contextualizing that LLM. That is fine tuning that model to customize this for a domain specific knowledge, or ensuring that this is relevant across grades, across subjects, and you're using it in that sort of a manner. Similarly, another school has a charter of making their classes more interactive without students having any device in the classroom, with teachers having a smart board. We worked with those schools to identify what are the tools that can help you increase engagement, increase interactivity in your classrooms. So that's contextualizing LLMs. Yeah. And the topmost level would be building custom elements, which means building your own agents, your own chatbots, which can actually, for example, let's say I have a project that is going to run. Now that's going to run over months. There will be multiple stages at which students will need help. So we are going to do a session. Again, that session is on Copilot agents. Will be a paid session. So if you're interested, please do let us know. We'll be happy to bring it in specifically for your school or for everybody. So this we have planned for June. We're going to do a session on how to use agents in AI agents in education. So we are going to do specifically that, and that's where you reach the fourth stage, that is building your custom LLMs. But well, till then, the world is your sea, and I think there are so many things that are available for you that I'm going to blow your mind over the next few slides. You asked for generative AI, right? Here are generative AI tools that can help you in so many ways. Yes, you can keep capturing as you want. These are not something that we have curated. This is something when every day we sit down on various channels, whether it is LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. These are the places where I go for my professional learning. These are some of the pieces that people have shared over there. So there is no dirt. I mean, if you start counting each of these tools, every graphic will give you minimum 50, right? So I mean, this one's giving you 9, but then it's giving you multiple ways of how to, or what is it that you can get out of it, right? Here are two more. So you needed worksheet generators. Here are 5 or 7 of them which can just help you in generating worksheets. You can try it on your own, and we are not going to give a training on this because that's what I'm talking about right now. Have a purpose. For example, you need worksheets, that's your set. You need to gamify learning, here's your set. You're looking for social sciences, worksheets, here's your websites. You're looking for presentations, probably these are your 9 AI tools. You're looking for AI study assistants for your students, here they are. You're looking for top tools being used by teachers, here they are. But tell me something. When you have these many tools to explore, number one, what are you going to use this for? Number two, do you have time to do all of this browsing? Well, that's where we come in. That's where our focus comes in. My only line to everybody that I meet is using GenAI for a purpose is imperative. You just cannot say, I want to start using GenAI in my school. Wonderful. That's a thought. How are you going to make it a reality? Well, I'll give you. Here are some 50 plus ways in which you can, use GenAI. I know you can't read. Don't worry. We've just given you a glimpse because the title said 50 ways, and we said, here you go. Here are the 50 ways. Are these 50 ways, because they're color coded? Do they look like, they're going to give us something specific? Yes. What are they going to give? We've categorized them. Let's say your focus is content creation and resource generation. Then, here are some of the ways in which you can use tools. I'm going to give you the which tool also, but let's first understand the purpose. Let's identify, because most of the times we don't know why should I use this. Okay, I have Copilot. Now what? Whenever we are in a training session also for Copilot or any of the tools, very often we get asked, what do we have to do over here? Yes, exactly. Good question. What do you have to do? It's very important for us to think about what is it that we have to do. Because the minute the what is clear, we are clear that we are going to use it in some wonderful way. Well, you could be writing lesson plans. You could be creating quizzes and exams. You could be personalizing the worksheets, tailoring them to students' needs. You could generate summaries. I love doing that. Currently we are also in a project where we are summarizing chapters. It's beautiful and I'm absolutely loving that work. It's time consuming, but I'm loving it. No use of AI over there. No, actually minimal use of AI, but it's a wonderful thing to summarize chapters or, a content to give to students. Differentiated instruction material. Always we've wanted to do this, but where's the time? Well, I've heard that many a times, but I think it is now time to start taking, help from Gen AI to be able to do that. Create visual aids and diagrams. Oh, I have to show you something. There's something wonderful that has been happening. Hindi teachers in every session have been telling us, ma'am, हमारे लिए तो कुछ नहीं होता. There's very, very less that we have, which is ready to use. So, Meenakshi Alawat, who's my partner, has done something beautiful. She's so much taken by AI that she says that, why not use it for creating or, creating something beautiful. So I'll give you a glimpse of what she has created. It's coming up. So let me know if you can see. It's just getting ready. But she started creating her own stories and she's encouraging students. So she's been taking sessions on Adobe with students, and she goes over there to give the comfort to many of the students to say you could do it in any language. How are you going to do it is more important, and what is it that you want to convey is more important. Do you see that? Now, if I take you from the way, I know she's not going to like it that this is at a very raw stage right now. So I'm literally just picking up a project to show you. So I'm just giving you a glimpse. Every image on every screen has been used, has been put over here. This is all work in progress using generative AI. This is all generated. So, what we're looking at is we're looking at creating content that makes sense to my students, my context, every ability, learner's ability, and much more. So, we're not just being generic by nature. We should be looking at something that directly talks to my student. So illustrate those concepts, do whatever you can with, creating visual aids and diagrams. Designing, engaging, and by the way, that story is about photosynthesis. She's trying to make her own story in Hindi to tell students exactly aligned with NEP 2020. And I think even globally, there is a need for us to be multilingual. So she's trying to, build that bridge for people. Next one, design engaging scenarios, role plays. Well, most of the times we only stop at debate. Why stop at debate? Do role playing, do simulations. All of that is possible. And I'm just going to show you the tools with which you can do all of this. Brainstorm ideas for projects and assignments. Your 40-minute period will never allow you. Therefore, generating ideas and prompts with students can happen outside of your class in a very safe environment. When you're working in Microsoft environment, everything is safe. When you're working in Adobe environment also, it will not accept words that are inappropriate. So that is taken care of. Translate materials cannot, emphasize enough. Writing emails and correspondence. Listen, parents, colleagues, everybody deserves a great email from you, right? Save your time on these routine tasks. Just automate them using Copilot. Create your personalized book reports. Generate vocabulary lists and idioms. Very important. Don't just generate them. Start using tools like QReport. Using tools like quizzes to make these interactive. Make them more immersive. Have tongue twisters and riddles. Your class should liven up with these. I feel every week have a new riddle or a tongue twister in your class. Get your students going and thinking, not just about what they're studying, but I think some things in general also, around the world. Write your own text. Please do. I've just shown you an example writing stories, articles, poems, anything that you can. Riddles. Then create jigsaw reading activities. I think reading is one piece and maths practice is one thing that really needs some excitement. Go ahead and create a jigsaw. So we did this piece in one of the schools, and I'm telling you, to find the right piece to fit, they had to complete each and every task given in that, the entire project. And that was a challenge. And they were exchanging pieces with each other to complete. Hey, do you have the piece on the right hand side in the base? Because I don't have it. My last piece is missing. And to find that last piece, they were taking help from Pure. It was so exciting. Yeah, simple changes. I love doing elevators pitch. Don't just ask your students to present their project. Ask for an elevators pitch. What is it that you want to convey? Summarize your information. For example, I play 6 words a lot. Tell me your project in 6 words. It is so tough, you cannot imagine. Remember, I challenged you earlier as well? Well, here's the challenge again. The challenge is you have to describe yourself for the kind of teacher that you are in 6 words. Yeah. Fill up my chat window with 6 words about you that describe you the best as an educator. As you do that, I will keep, yeah, I got you thinking there, right? So that is an elevator's pitch. Go ahead and give me that information in the most concise manner as to who are you. Well, create a course skeleton. I think a framework is very important. And what is most important is the minute you say we are going to do this in our class, for example, we are going to study body systems, have a skeletal sketch of what this unit will entail and put it up on the boards. It is important. The students already have a textbook. The textbook will have number of pages and little content spread here and there. What is more important is how do you make that interactive? We used to have a treasure hunt where we would say, here's the skeletal of the chapter that we are going to do. Go ahead and find out on which page can you find information about it. It just is so helpful. Students familiarize themselves. This is one of the ways to engage them into the content that you're going to do. Generate prompts for creative writing. I think creative writing needs a lot of imagination and that spark in it. Now, if I ask you to create me a writing prompt, mostly they are usual prompts. But when I go to Gen AI and when I go to Copilot, it can give me prompts that blow my mind away and I get writing. So imagine even in my busy schedule, if I can get writing, if you give these to students, it's going to be amazing. And guess what? Well, have a mash between the prompt and the jigsaw. You've got a class that's going to get you going. Language teachers, I hope you're listening. Well, create games with images. Once again, matching games, any educational games, not just matching. We especially the higher grades, grades 9 to 12. The concepts are very, very. They're very complex. We need to break them down for students. Images are the best way to do that. I wish I could show you a project which I'm working on, but I can't. It's under wraps right now. But what happens is when you bring in images into it and you play with images, very simple as xylem and phloem. So the minute I put up two pictures and I ask them, okay, tell me about it, they have a visual about it. They will remember it much better. Let's say I have given different pieces in my classroom when I'm working on the plant kingdom. I've given different pieces to different students in my classroom. They have to come together. It's not babyish, but it's a great exchange. Have an exchange of not just thoughts, but information as well in your classroom. I think that's very important. Of course, let them create tutorials. Always, we don't have to create those step by step instructions. Some students are really good at a few things. Let them create. Yeah. And of course, generate lesson starters. I love introductions. I love if I totally believe if you start impressive, you just land a very, very engaged an audience. So for me, the start or the beginning or the introduction is very important. Thank you for those beautiful comments that are coming in the chat window. Well, then there's teaching with AI, where you are trying to enhance student learning and assessment. There are multiple ways. Personalized feedback is on top. Personalized feedback is something, a child feels as if you've actually read through the piece. Otherwise, it's a very generic one, right? For you to provide all of that by yourself is slightly difficult. So, providing feedback on grammar, style, and clarity can be left to Gen AI using your rubrics. For example, in Teams, you always have your rubrics. Define your rubric over there and let that be handled by AI. And then you come in where you're going to analyze the writing and provide a very focused feedback to the student. Generate personalized assessment rubrics. Like I said, you have specific learning objectives, but they should not just be on content, knowledge, skills, attitudes. All three things are very important. Yeah. All these three things come together if you put that in the rubric. Generating test questions. Oh God, no. I think a number of questions are ever enough for us to get students practicing and then to correct those is very difficult. Automate it. Please go ahead and give this to Copilot, give this to, I would also give it to teams and say that, okay, create MCQs, create short answers, go to forms to automate it. Do a lot of automation with test questions because your students need practice. Let them do it themselves. Use Math Progress for math. Please build their foundational mathematical numerical skills. It's very important. It really serves you lifelong. I mean, I feel sad sometimes when I see some students, if I say, okay, what's 64 plus 83? And they're looking like, I mean, do I have a paper to calculate? And I remember in our times, it was not difficult. What we knew is we knew mentally how to do it, right? We did not rely on anything, but now that students need more practice, give them more than they can handle. I can never forget, what Satya Nadella said. He said, sign up for more courses than you can complete. And believe you me, I have stuck by it. I always have courses or learning courses in progress. I do make it a point to complete, not that I don't, but I always have more than I can complete. That keeps me hooked. I sign up for more webinars than I can attend. I have recordings available to me of webinars more than I can actually handle. Why? Because that keeps me going. If I have any minute that I can actually invest in learning, I know where to go. I have that, freedom to go back, refer to it, and probably learn anytime. That's the whole idea about, bringing everything together to learn together. Apart from that, you have generating learning paths. That's what I do for myself. Of course, providing real time feedback to students, automate it because your teams will actually create automated responses there and then and give it. Develop adaptive learning modules. Math progress. The first thing that comes to my mind is math progress. Adjust the difficulty and content of learning modules, give it to them. And add that too when it's free of cost. Why even think twice? Create interactive simulations. Simulations, I think, just stimulate your mind and they help you explore concepts in a very hands on way. How are you going to do that? In a minute. Facilitate online discussions and question and answers. Very important, because students have, I think, some thousand questions on their minds. And we never have enough time to answer all those questions. Therefore, it is very important that those queries are addressed and that they're able to get some answers. So give them a safe way of finding out answers. Magic School AI has beautiful is a beautiful platform for any student also to interact because you are making that piece available for them. It's not that the entire platform is available to them, right? Then create personalized learning games. I think I've spoken about this right now, but I think tailored to the students' need and preferences, it's very important. Even if, let's say, Minecraft is one of the living examples, that if students like to learn using Minecraft, why not? They all love, I mean, ask any student in your class, have they heard or not heard of Minecraft? I think they'll all stand up to say, yes, of course we have, right? Generate language learning activities. Language is our base. It's a vehicle of the way we interact, way we talk, way we communicate. Therefore, do everything that you can between flashcards, vocabulary lists, practice exercises to be able to develop language. And of course, math. I think I've spoken enough about that. And last but not the least, let them have that debate and discussion. Real world scenarios, spark critical thinking and discussions. These are some of the ways I would love to use this tool with my students. Once again, this is just a partial view of how we can do, right? Here's the last but not the least, another way in which I would want to put in front of you. I think as a teacher, we're always looking for ways to improve learning and communication. Student data is huge. I think it's a gold mine for us. And I think we need to identify the trends in learning, look at those trends, address those trends, adjust learning according to that. And that could actually help us in a long way. Provide targeted interventions, not just general, revisit of the concept. But I think if there are about, even if your group the learning needs in about 7, 8, or 10 groups, you can actually create different levels of learning material for them. And that's very important. Oh, I think I repeated that one, role play and simulation, but they really help you improve learning and also clarify misconceptions. That's something that happens a lot while you are debating, right? And role playing, because you literally put yourself in that shoe. And the minute you do that, you start thinking about it. Then explain complex concepts visually. Translation and language support, AI generated summaries and notes, literature review assistance, very important. Lengthy chapters, lengthy articles need to be reviewed. Data visualization, event planning. My God, event planning is one of the most time consuming pieces that I've ever seen in a running school. Well, automate it. Go ahead. Take help from Copilot to do so. It's super helpful if you can ask the right question and get the right answer. Syllabus drafting. I know you'll say, no, I think this is something that is already provided to us by, our schools. So what? You can do the drafting by detailing and defining what's happening each grade. Where should one grade stop? Where should the other grade pick up? How can the gradation, both vertical and horizontal, be aligned? And of course, parent communication, extremely important. Parent communication, I think, is, again, at the cost of repeating myself, I'm going to say this. Parent communication is a very delicate, piece to handle. And I think a little help or a lot of help there is something that can go a long way. So, yep, please do take help from these tools. They really know how to craft the language to talk. Mind mapping tools, one of my favorite ones. Huh? We'll talk about this. Language learning companions and speech practice tools. But top 10 picks. No, before I do that, I think of all the things, these are the 8 pieces that I would say are non-negotiable. And while you're about to use, Gen AI in your teaching learning, I'm going to highly encourage you to give this a deeper thought of how are you going to use it for these 8 purposes. Yeah, these are my centerpiece for using Gen AI. Now, top 10 with the tools. Here comes the best part. Lesson plan and generation. These are my to-go tools, and by no means I'm saying these are the only ones. These are my to-go tools, and I think they've worked with multiple people that I work with. So if it works for you, go for it. So creating customized lesson plans aligned with your curriculum standards is something Copilot can handle very easily. Don't go to 10 places, because you can go to 10 places and come back. Interactive tutoring, learning accelerators, nothing better than that. Unmatched. Explaining complex concepts. Use Magic School AI. It has wonderful ways in which you can break down a difficult topic using analogies, using step by step explanation. So, there are various ways in which you can use it. Try it. I love it. Creating educational content, quizzes. My to go, eyes closed. Adaptive learning paths. The only one I would say is Khanmigo right now, which can give you beautiful learning paths. But of course, I'm not talking about professional learning. Remember, this is for teaching and support, instruction support. Okay. Gamified learning experiences, QReport. Kahoot. Kahoot, I know most of you are familiar with. Therefore, I would say QReport. My latest obsession. Language translation, use Microsoft Translate. You have it. You have it embedded across, right? Voice assistants in the classroom. Have you ever thought of bringing in Alexa in your classroom? Oh, it's fun. Yeah, try it. Virtual lab. Still, PHET remains my hottest favorite. I cannot emphasize enough on that. And storytelling for young learners, I think reading progress, nothing to beat reading progress and reading coach. I'm going to pause here because I see Neetu ma'am, you've raised your hand. I will allow your mic. So go ahead, unmute yourself to talk, please. Neetu ma'am, you've raised your hand. You can unmute yourself to speak. Okay. Looks like by mistake. Otherwise, your mic is allowed. You can unmute yourself anytime. Okay, for student learning number two, personalized learning guides. Okay, I'm going to pause. I think Geeta ma'am has raised her hand. Go ahead, Geeta ma'am. Please unmute yourself to talk. Geeta Rajpal ma'am, you want to say something? Okay, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening. Good evening,
A
Meenakshi ma'am.
very
Good
good
evening,
evening.
everyone. Ma'am, my question is Copilot free for all Microsoft users?
Copilot chat is free for everybody. Okay, so
Okay.
you can simply just go to copilot.microsoft.com, log in with a Microsoft ID, and that's about it.
Okay, fine. And what about the designer? Is designer also free?
Yes, Designer is also free of cost. You can simply go to designer.microsoft.com and start using it.
And how many designs we can design in a day? Is there any limit?
No limit, no limit. There's
Actually,
no limit mentioned out there.
I am facing a problem when I'm
Mhm.
using Copilot to design any image. It allows me only to design one image in a day. Why?
So what you're doing is you are designing an image using Copilot.
Okay. So what I
Let me
have to do
just
then?
show you both the things here. Just a second. Good question asked. And please do ask questions. I love questions. Just a second. Let me just bring you Copilot here. One second. I'm just going to share my screen. Give me a minute. Okay. One is that, Copilot is built within your M365. Yeah, right now I'm using this with an institutional ID, right? I go to copilot.microsoft.com and I can use it with my institutional ID, or I can use it with my personal ID. Now, this was institutional ID. I'm going to show you with the personal ID as well. Now, this is my outlook.com account. Yeah. So, just a second. Sorry. I'm just going to go out again and I'm going to share copilot.microsoft.com. Okay. All you need to do is simply just go to copilot.microsoft.com, sign in over here with your Microsoft ID. Now, one is you are generating an image from here. Two is you're going to designer.microsoft.com. Okay. Here also, you're using your personal ID to log in and create. Now, when you create over here, there are no limits to how many you are creating in a day. There are no specified limits. Here also, if you want to read when once you log in, it will give you over here on the right hand side all the limits which are applicable here. You can actually go ahead and sign in over here and find out if there is any limit on your generating any image over here.
So
Yeah.
here we sign in with our Microsoft ID or Outlook ID.
Again, these are two different usages. One is you use your school ID, which is a Microsoft 365 ID. Then
Yeah.
your Copilot will appear over here. Sorry. Then your Copilot will appear over here as well, right? Or you here. This is Copilot now, right? Right now I'm not logged in. That's why it's asking me. But otherwise, if I'm logged in over here, then I can straight away start using it. Or you go to Copilot and sign in with your personal ID, that is your Outlook or Hotmail ID, and you can start using it. Both are free of cost.
Okay. In Designer also we have to log in with Microsoft ID only.
Designer does not give you an option for your institutional ID. You have to sign in with a personal ID.
Okay,
Do you
okay.
see over here? You get credits every time you use, you get credits over here. Yeah, so there
Okay.
is no limit here. Only thing that they specify is that these are the limitation of words which can be used. If there is an inappropriate word, it'll immediately alarm you to say that word is not, not something that we can use.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I have seen that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Most welcome. I have another comment here where Rajpal Kaur ma'am says that do we need organizational ID or we can use personal IDs for Copilot? Like I've explained, I think this question is answered. You can use both. There's no problem at all. Yeah. Okay, good. Keep the questions coming. And where was I? Okay, so we were talking about helping students personalize studies with Quizlet or quizzes. Both are very good for study guides. You can actually make learning paths with them. AI writing assistants, Grammarly, nothing to beat Grammarly. Or editor in Microsoft Word. Both will help, are good writing assistant. They help students improve their grammar, their structure, the clarity, the tone. All of that is so important for our students to know. Yeah. Speech practice tools. Amongst the speech practice tools, I'm going to heavily rely on, Reading Coach or Duolingo. Both are great. Homework helpers, I don't want to give them. Therefore, I think, but offering hints, explanations, and practices are important. Therefore, learning accelerators help you. Creative writing prompts. Please go to Copilot. It'll inspire your students to write stories, poems, essays, riddles as you like it. Mind mapping tool, MindMeister, or Napkin AI. Both. I love them. I don't give Napkin AI to students. I give MindMeister because that can be monitored. Flashcard generation, not just important for you, but also important for students because they loved, creating flashcards from notes because that come in very handy, especially around exam time. Yeah. And you can use Curipod for that, or you can even use, I think even quizzes for that. So exam prep, any day quizzes. Notes summarization, Copilot does the best. Language learning, Reading Coach. I'm just going very quickly. If you want me to pause or explain something somewhere, please do let me know. And this is more than 50, I assure you. I think we've already covered about more than 150. I'm covering more. Grading automation. Many of you feel that we need to buy an LMS, we need to have proper learning management systems to do that. I always say, yes, please do go for that. But for grading automation, first try Teams. Start using learning accelerators. Insights are automated over there. They offer you, valuable way to see how students are performing. Use forms. They give you beautiful grading automation, and even in Teams you can use that, right? And quizzes. Quizzes also automates it, so you can use quizzes. Even Curipod has a piece of grading automation. You can use that. Rubric creation, eyes closed Teams assignments, or Ruby Star. I think you all are familiar with. Parent communication, Teams. If you use external systems, you will always say, this, we had this conversation, but I think it got out, or, it's not in my system anymore. So let's be, very careful while we are drafting progress reports, newsletters, or anything. Let's use Teams. Teams has a dedicated way to interact with parents. If you don't know of it, I'll be happy to share the link as well. For your professional learning, Microsoft Learn is my go to place. Adobe Education Exchange is my go to place, and Coursera. Those are mine. I don't know if you have any more, please do share. Syllabus drafting, any day Magic School AI or Eduate or probably even Diffit. I love Diffit also. Email drafting, Grammarly and Copilot combo are deadly. Data analysis, insights in Teams. My buck stops there. And the day you have actually utilized insights in Teams, that's the day when you're ready to invest into a LMS. Feedback generation. Because you see, sorry, I'm just going to go back with data analysis. Data analysis is not the tough part. Data generation, data curation is the tougher part. And that's what is time consuming. And here in Teams, even that is automated. So till you taste the flavor of what will I get on the other side, mostly we are not interested in, finishing that task because it's time consuming. I mean, let's just face it, it is very time consuming. So to reach the level of data analysis, first pause at data curation. And that can be automated in Teams. Rashi ma'am has raised her hand. I'm going to allow your mic. You can go ahead and speak. Unmute yourself, please. Just a minute. Your mic is allowed now. Rashi Kurana ma'am, you want to say something?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Am I audible now?
Yes, very much. Good evening.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you that can you show an example of how insights and teams work or how we can use Copilot and Power BI? Because it seems quite expensive when we see the pricing of Copilot, usage of Copilot and Power BI for data analysis or generating automative summaries out of that.
So, what you're talking of is different types of pieces. Okay, I'm going to go one by one into just about a few of them to give you a peek because my session today will allow me only that much, but we can have a larger conversation probably, once you can get in touch with us, right? So, this is
Sure, sure.
Teams. Okay, this is Teams over here. This is, let's say, one of my teams. Here I have insights available. The tool or the vehicle behind this is Power BI. I don't have to do anything. It's all built in and it's available over here. So as I start using Teams, data is being collected by usage by these students of mine, and it is giving me beautiful graphs over here, progress paths, how my students are progressing, how are they learning, what are their habits, what are their trends. Do you see over here the word per minute declines and then it rises up and then it went again up and down. Now that gives me a beautiful view. This is my class word list, which is automatically created. Here's the energy in my classroom as to what's the mood like using Reflect, I know. And social emotional learning is an essential part of our classrooms, and we have an idea about how our class is doing. And we don't
Yeah.
have to go on face value. We can simply just generate this, and I think even a school leader can ask, can I see what's happening in your class, looking at these trends? You don't have to go and ask anybody. You have trends to show, and you have substantive data to support what you're doing in your classrooms. Number one, these are these trends, right? So assignments, if you go to assignments, once again, you ask me about insights. Over here, you have your learning accelerators available here. Any of these, as you're using insights, gets into play because all of these are automated. These are all AI based tools. Yeah. The minute
Okay.
the student starts using these, the data starts getting collected. Yeah. So that's just about an overview of what I was telling you about. Now, you spoke about Power BI. Not
Yeah.
many people know about it. Therefore, I'm just going to go ahead. I will just try and bring up my screen if possible, and I'm exposing my main page to you right now.
Yeah.
This is my dashboard, right? Now, my dashboard just doesn't have Power BI, it also has Power Apps. All of you will have these available to you. In Power BI, a foundation or a base piece is already available to you within your M365 subscriptions. The paid piece is something that you will need when you are ready for it. Do you see this? Power BI app is in Teams as well. So if I go back to Teams, I can show you over there. In your apps, you will find Power BI available. So if you're using at a baseline level, this is already available to you. And the most beautiful part is that there's a complete, there's also workspaces. Just a second. Yeah, when you start creating, there are templates also that are available to you, which you can start using right away. So if you're a baseline user of Power BI, please do not invest. Once you have mastered that, then definitely there are more ways of using Power BI and you can start. So what Power BI does is, for those who don't know or who are new to Power BI basically provides you deeper insights into every aspect of teaching learning in your school. So while you're talking about LMSs, think about Power BI, first, because your data is resting in M365 in your school. So who else better than your own internal tool to give you insights about what's possible or what's happening and give you the trends? Rashi, did I answer your question?
Yeah, partially, but
Kind
yeah,
of, kind of, yeah. Like I said,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think
For
yeah,
deeper
we need to.
conversation, yeah, just
Yeah,
send me a message and I would love to have a conversation. Yeah.
perfect, perfect. I think that sounds
Sorry,
good.
I don't want to deviate too much over here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. I understand.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. Welcome. Okay. Feedback generation. If you haven't tried feedback generation on Magic School AI, you are missing something in life. You have to do that. Then, of course, Turnitin is there. And of course, accessibility enhancements. You have Immersive Reader. You know now Immersive Reader has Reading Coach also built within. So, what's stopping you? Well, top 10 institutional administrative users. You're a Microsoft user, hardcore Microsoft users use it for this. Curriculum design, use Planner. Have you even thought of using Microsoft Planner for that? If you haven't, you have to use it. And in June, I'm going to do a session on that. Policy drafting, extremely important. And I would put Microsoft Copilot here because I do a combination of Word and Copilot. I go to Copilot, and I think I did share a prompt with you, where we took a policy. For example, I am the IT manager of the school, and I would want to set a policy for usage of Gen AI by teachers, not even students, by teachers. I took help from Copilot. I said, give me some engagements to do, give me some posters to put up. So it designed everything for me. All I had to do is put it month wise. And I said a 12-month agenda. So every month I should have minimum two activities, which means fortnightly activities to implement those policies. So while drafting the policy is the easier part, implementing those policies and monitoring and taking proactive action for it is what is most important. We're working in consultation with multiple schools in policy drafting. Believe you me, we don't sit down to do this with them. We show them the way they do it themselves within their busy schedules. And they're as busy as any of you because they're a school as well. But because they've taken a decision to do it, we just guide them onto how to do it. It has to be your internal process. It's your school. You know it the best. Yeah. Enrollment chatbots, bot frameworks are amazing. So like I said, I'm going to do agents in June, not right now, but bot frameworks. If you have students or teachers who can design bots, go for enrollment chatbots. FAQs can be put over there, especially people visiting your website. Now is the time when you should be engaging in these kind of activities where you should have people filling in forms. I'm just giving you one example for admissions. Admissions is something that is a huge charter in every school and the most important one. Automate multiple things. Automate not just getting the forms filled, automate their filtering, automate responding to FAQs. So have your bots made for that, and your life is so much simpler, especially new teachers coming in orientation. There are 1,000 questions that they'll have. We all have staff notebook available with us, which will give you where you can keep all your policies and your charters and everything, but nobody reads them. What you need to do is use Copilot to say, hey, summarize this, or make or go to Napkin AI and say, make a infographic about the policies in the school, and then you hyperlink them. That's how people know. Okay, I just need to know what I need to know. I don't need to go through the whole piece. Who reads? So I had an interaction with somebody, without naming anybody. I had a conversation about NEP 2020. So it's a 600 plus page document. How many of you have really read it? Okay. How many of you really know what it is about, apart from reading those words on various social media or your school interactions? Do you really know what is required and how are we going to reach there? Well, take use of Copilot. Make use of Copilot for this sort of a planning because it's important. That's your national charter. I'm sure those who have drafted had much on mind. Go beyond, do more than what is required. NCF 2023. Does your school curriculum match the NCF document or exceed? Have you even thought about it? Well, let these bots or these platforms compare it for you. Pick up syllabuses from various boards across and see what's different. What is the content that you want to bring in? What are the pedagogies being used? Do we really know what are the pedagogies that are to be at play? Every teacher in our school must know. Do we? Not sure. Let's move from not sure to try and be sure. Use AI powered surveys, use Microsoft Forms to find out this. I wish I could just drop a survey, but I know I'm hitting 6 p.m. So I'm going to keep away from that probably next time. Resource allocation. Try Microsoft Project. It's amazing. Event planning. I love Planner. I love Outlook. I love project planning with, event planning with Microsoft Projects. It just streamlines everything that you have to do. Alumni engagement, LinkedIn, even Teams. Have Teams for your alumni. Let them interact with everybody. It's Teams, it's safe. So let them. Timetable scheduling. Do you use calendar and bookings for that? If not, about time that you do. Fee management, I think I'm going to let many of those tools that are available to you for you to use. However, Blackboard is something that is, not Blackboard, it's Blackboard, which is something that is one of the hottest running tools for, and a Microsoft partner. So I'll let you know about it. Website content creation. Use SharePoint. If you haven't used that, try it. It's internal, so it's not going to fetch you news which is I don't know whose news and not your school's news. Every class should have a website. Sorry, and that can easily be created using SharePoint. We've already done a session on this, but I think it's been long. I don't mind bringing a session on website creation using SharePoint in June. So if you want to hear about it, do send a request or share your request in chat window. We would love to accommodate that for you. Yep. Last but not the least, it's extremely important that we do engage in research and innovation, right? Please, think about all the ways in which that are written over here, and almost all of these can be addressed within Microsoft itself. This is one piece that's on my mind. And we are these days, I know research, innovation, and action are three pieces that are running super hot. We are doing multiple sessions in various schools for this, and very happy to be of help to anybody who wants to structure and refine their academic writing, any kind of, raw data that you have, and you would want to see how this can actually be of give you some direction, answer some imperative questions. uh, we are happy to be of help to help you design effective questionnaires, or flag some things for you to say, hey, this is something that's your and you'll be surprised to see most often than not schools don't know what are their strengths, and what are their areas where they could improvise, because that the data is available, but it's not visually available to you for you to depend on that kind of piece to be able. So we can help you with that research in case anyone requires anything. So to bring it all together, I'm just going to put it here in these five boxes, and those are your tools. These are my two go tools, and you can actually achieve greater efficiency with GenAI. No questions asked. This is something that is that's going to help us in a big, big, big way in the days to come. Most of the tools you've heard of, if you haven't heard of any, or if you are looking for training on any, do connect with us. Happy to be of help. Happy to onboard your teachers on these tools and see how these tools can, be really, really helpful in education. So, this is the month of May, and we have these four sessions live. So, next time we meet on 13th of May, and we talk about one of the tools that you have requested for, and that is Khanmigo. Teachers, don't miss it for anything, because this is something that can actually give you the superpowers. So, I love Khanmigo. So, we're bringing you Khanmigo on 13th of May to come back, and the link remains same. For today's session, yes, of course, we have a test aligned for you. Well, the trend says that last time about 50 to 60 of you took a test. Many of you are missing the point that uh, there are multiple answers that are correct, not just one. So if there are more than one answer that is a correct answer, we've written select more than one. So please go ahead, take your test. And once you've taken the test, scored 80%, then you need to pay a nominal fee of rupees 200 to be able to get your certificate. So off you go, take your test. Wish you luck. And I'm just going to give you this link in the chat window as well, so that you can very quickly take a test. Either you can scan this, or I'm giving you the link in the chat window. You can take a test. The session is open for any questions that you might have. And, I'm happy to answer anything that you would like to. I know these are high PD times and Delhi schools are closing down very soon. Well, we are happy to help you any which way that we can. Don't feel shy to for reaching out to us. We're happy to be of help to you if we can be. And all the sessions in in April that we had taken, we our recordings are already available on our YouTube channel. I am just, as I'm talking to you, I am just giving you the links as well. Please go for it and take the links. I've given you the test link. I have given you. No, I think I need to edit the test link. Just a second. Give me a moment, please. I'm just going to give you the correct link. Just hold on. Okay, I think I need a minute on that. Give me a minute, please. Here you go. I'm just giving you. Nope. Okay. Sometimes when you really want things to happen super fast, they just wouldn't happen, isn't it? Well, that's what happened with me right now. I think I missed a step or two and therefore it didn't happen. And yeah, it's just not ready to happen. However, I'm just going to give you once again in the chat window, then delete this one so that I provide you the correct link. And I see a few questions coming up. I'm just going to answer your question. Give me. Okay, finally I got it. Here you go. Thank you. Yes, I know, Seema ma'am. I've already provided you the correct link. So please do take the correct one. Do not take the incorrect link. I will delete that message. Done that. Okay, thank you for the lovely comments here. There are no earning points in Microsoft Learn if we clear the exam. No, this is not related to Priyanka. This is not related to Microsoft. This is purely the Pedagogics endeavor. And we give you certificate as a part of, Microsoft partnership. So we are global training partners, and you know that. So the part of that, yes, you do get. Okay. Thank you. Can you also please provide the link to view this information packed PPT with AI tools that can be used for various purposes? Well, Kritika, I would request you to please, visit our recording. It'll be available by tomorrow, so you could do that. Okay. Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am, for being here. And yeah, great, fantastic. So awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Not bad. I've been able to take only 8 minutes more out of your time, but I hope to see you on 13th of May with Canmigo. See you then. Be good, take care, and do take the test. Bye bye. Thank you.